Anyway, it was the baseball team always so calm.
Why?
They had a lot of relievers.
Oh, got it.
First and foremost, you know the name. We came to break.
All right, guys, welcome to First and Four, the podcast where a father and his firstborn son break down America's biggest four sports: football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. From hot takes to generational debates, we're moving the chains one play at a time. So let's get right into it. Great weekend of football, especially. I think that's what a lot of people are focused on with the conference championships. I know I'm excited about my Seahawks. Kind of fell back on them after the Bears, kind of a secondary following that I have there, and feel kind of good about it. Repping the Steve Largent jersey again today. I guess for our film room, let's just get right into then those couple of championship games. I think it's kind of appropriate just to hit on both of them because they were both some solid games. So starting with Rams Seahawks, just because, like I said, pretty excited about that game.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff going around out there, I guess, but to me, it just seemed like the Seahawks always just kind of had that like 3 or 4 point lead, or always just like a little bit of a control of the game. Where watching, like, the Rams were in it, but it like almost felt like the Seahawks were always going to win that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did pretty much have control most of the game. The defense played really well. The Rams offense looked really good, and I feel like they were moving the ball, but you did feel like the Seahawks were just inevitably going to end up making a play to win the game. I think special teams played a big part in that. Yeah, obviously that fumbled or muff punt return that the Rams had,
a big turning point,
was
for sure.
huge. Yeah, the Seahawks almost screwed it up a little bit with the taunting call that they had.
Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, honestly, that was the only point where I thought, oh man, this might turn for the Rams and might go the other way. I thought, like, if the Rams were going to win that game, people would point back to that play and the taunting call, and like that was the turning point that kind of got it going for the Rams. So lucky for the Seahawks, they turned it around still and ended up finishing that game on a positive note. But that could have been a big game changer too.
Yeah, for sure, and especially being Tariq Woolen, who, this was a big year for him. He, in such a loaded secondary, he's a great player, but it's like, are you a guy that we're going to keep around here when we have so many guys?
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a prove it year, and that was a big moment because he got the taunting call on what would have been a 4th and 12, and then got burned for a huge touchdown the very next play.
Yeah,
he's the one that gave it up. So
yeah,
if it would have come down to that he would have. It would have been bad for him,
for sure. Yeah.
What
about Sam Darnold though? I mean, like, you gotta love that guy turning it around. I mean, there are a lot of people doubting him coming into the season, obviously, with the Vikings not able to do it in the playoffs with them last year, and then coming to the Seahawks. I don't know how you felt coming into the season with him, but obviously the playoffs, he's really stepped up big time. And fantastic game he had yesterday, really. And I think the Rams really had been a great defense against the Seahawks all season. He had really struggled against them, but he came through big time for the team yesterday, which is awesome.
He did, yeah. And you asked about coming into the season, and I think I wasn't quite as down on him as I think other people were. I think he's a guy who, in the right system, he can succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with a guy like Clint Kubiak, who's a high head coaching candidate, as the offensive coordinator, I was excited about it because I think he can have the success when he has the right pieces around him, the right coaching. And so I wasn't too worried about it. Even the Seahawks, I think, doubted him a little bit. The way his contract is set up, they really could have gotten out of it after this year if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And then they drafted a project quarterback to sit behind him in Jalen Milroe. So, he definitely stepped up. 25 of 36, 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions in this game. So, and what I think is impressive to me about the Seahawks too is we've seen them win so many different ways, right? Like Darnold had the 300 plus passing yards, 3 touchdowns in this game, so it was a big game for Darnold. But the game before this, he didn't have to do much. It was a lot of special teams. It was the running game. It defense, right? Like, it's just such a complete team where like any part can just step up and win you the game.
But
I think last weekend it was him.
Yeah, I do feel that like they have been the most complete team in the league probably the whole season. Like you said, they're finding every way to win, and people step up every single game. I think between those two teams, honestly, the Rams and the Seahawks, if you had to say between offense and defense all season, those were probably the two of the most complete teams. I don't know if really that was the Super Bowl here in the NFC Championship game of the two best teams, but they seem like the two most complete offenses and defenses. I would say the big turning point was probably special teams. Like, again, the muff punt, and then Shaheed, obviously for the Seahawks, coming up big last weekend for them with the kick return. But he played a huge factor too, receiving the ball yesterday. So he was a huge pickup, I think, for them this year. Great addition, not only special teams, but also offensively. Great complete team win throughout the playoffs.
And that special teams have been the Achilles heel for the Rams. If you remember, they fired their special teams coordinator after the last game with the Seahawks. So
That's
crazy, I guess.
Kind of a downfall for them this season, it looks like. But
I think you pointed out to me Darnold's the first quarterback from the 2018 draft class to make a Super Bowl. So Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen. All those guys. Sam Darnold's the first.
It is kind of crazy. Yeah, when you think about that class, some great names in there. And especially with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, you would have thought one of those two would win the first to get to a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl. And it's Sam Darnold that comes through. A guy that the other thing I saw with him, he's the first, I don't know if you knew this, he's the first USC quarterback to get to a Super Bowl, to start in a Super Bowl, excuse me. First USC quarterback to start in a Super Bowl.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
So, and they've had, what did I see? There's over the past 20 years, there's like 8 draft picks I think that they've had. And he's the first one now to actually start in the Super Bowl. So pretty crazy for him to come through. Going to get thrown away from the Jets, go to the Panthers, didn't really fit in their offense, and then now to kind of resurrect himself with the Seahawks is great to see. The other thing I was thinking about was, how'd you like to be Geno Smith, who just got kicked off this team last year? Not kicked off, but whatever. They goes to the Raiders. They bring in Sam Darnold, completely turns things around, gets him to the Super Bowl. Geno Smith is on the Raiders, worst record in the league, number one pick, right? So you go from it couldn't have been a worse season for him.
Yeah.
And the turnaround you see at the Seahawks, just getting Sam Darnold in there. So that is kind of crazy to think about too.
It is, yeah. And it speaks to the Seahawks organization too a little bit, where they knew exactly when to move off Geno Smith, and they did it with Russ too, where they knew exactly when to move off him.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
That's a great point. John Snyder, that was the other thing I was looking at. He's the first GM to take 2 completely different teams and coaches to a Super Bowl. So he did it obviously 10 plus years ago with the team with Russ, with Pete Carroll at the time. They get to a Super Bowl, obviously win the Super Bowl then. And now, more than 10 years later, completely revamped roster, new coaching staff, new everything. And like you said, I think they made the right moves when they needed to. They got rid of Russ when they needed to. They got rid of Geno when they needed to. Rebuilt that entire roster. I mean, for him as a GM, I don't know if they really give him enough credit either for everything that he's done to kind of turn things around there and making the right moves at the right time, getting the right coaching staff in, especially. So
none of the same players from that roster.
None of the same players, yeah. None of the same players, none of the same coaching staff. Everything is completely turned over.
Wow.
First GM to do that. So that's pretty incredible for him too.
It is, yeah.
As an organization, they've done a great job here.
Yeah. And then on the Rams side, I guess obviously great season. I think you saw that reporter that came up to Stafford as soon as the game was over, and what's the plan for next year?
Yeah.
And it's always the question they're quick to ask. I mean, I assume he's back. I looked at it, Devontae Adams has 1 year left on that deal. He's on a 2-year deal. So I think this version of the Rams has one more shot.
I think that's probably right. Yeah. I mean, Matt Stafford's playing at a very high level. I mean, potentially MVP season.
Right.
We'll see kind of what happens here. But yeah, to go from an MVP season if he does step down, I think it's kind of disappointing. I think he does have at least another year left in him. So hopefully he comes back. And like you said, Devontae Adams, that's another one. He's been to 5 AFC or NFC championship games, never made it to the Super Bowl. So he's one also that may, one more year left. Maybe he and Stafford come back again and make one last run at it. And maybe Adams gets his opportunity at Super Bowl next year. But kind of crazy to think about, too. A great receiver and 0-5 there in championship games.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then on to Patriots-Broncos. So this game, very different feel, I guess, from Rams and Seahawks. Not much offense going on. Partly just two great defenses, and partly it was a snow globe in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I think what was crazy about this game is it's almost what the Broncos needed if they were going to win, is a low-scoring defensive battle. And outside of that fumble, backwards pass, whatever Stidham had, where then Patriots get the ball inside the 10 or 15, wherever it was. I mean, that is really, I think, what decided the game there, where, Drake May gets it right up in the red zone, punches it in, but otherwise they couldn't get anything going on offense, and really neither could the Broncos. So that was a big turning point.
That was a big turning point. I would say that start of the game, there's a lot of talk around Stidham, whether he was going to be able to do it. Obviously, Bo Nix goes out last series of the previous game, broken ankle, and Stidham steps in this game. A lot of questions around that. The first drive, he actually looked pretty good to start the game, and it's like, okay, well, maybe this guy is really they're gonna score some points. And like you said, like the rest of the game was just a defensive battle, and it wasn't really that the snow affected them. The snow didn't happen until mid to late, third quarter, and then into the fourth quarter, really. But it was a 7-7, 10-7 game maybe when it really started getting kind of crazy. So yeah, it was a defensive battle, which, like you said, I think the Broncos wanted, but just couldn't get enough offensively. And then obviously the special teams. Again, we talked about special teams in the other game. They get a field goal blocked late, and I think the one thing I heard on that was the kicker actually mentioned that the snow did play a little bit of a factor, where he lined up 6 yards deep. Usually the kickers are lining up 7 yards from the snap, where the snap comes from. And because of the snow, they couldn't see where the yardage markers were. He lined up like a yard ahead of where he normally would, and maybe that affected the trajectory of the kick, and they were able to get a hand on it and block that thing. So kind of crazy that special teams really played a big part in both those games.
Yeah, it did, for sure. Yeah. So I guess, I don't know, we'll see going into the Super Bowl. Drake May, I don't think, has been super impressive. He only had 86 yards in this game, no touchdowns. I think it's just more impressive from the Patriots as a whole. They moved to 12-4 in AFC Championship games all time, which is crazy. And they're back. As soon as the Chiefs are out of the playoffs, the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is a crazy thing to think about, these dynasties. The Patriots, like, oh gosh, I hope they're not starting again here, right? But like, they kind of go through their dynasties, kind of start falling off. The Chiefs pick that back up, and then when you think that somebody else maybe can take over, it's the Patriots that take over. And you were expecting maybe Josh Allen, the Bills, or somebody else. Like, hey, the Chiefs are out. Somebody else's chance now. Like, we're really going to go back to the Patriots and have this all again? I think, Drake May, sophomore season, second year in the league. That's the same about time that Tom Brady in his second year gets to the Super Bowl. Are we going to see a similar type of move here with the Patriots, where the defense really kind of carried them? I don't think people are really talking about the Patriots defense, but they've played really well here in the playoffs. The quarterback play that they've been against has not been great, but you really got to give a nod to their defense for getting to where they are. And, like you said, Drake May didn't have a great game, but he didn't necessarily have to. He did make the plays when he needed to, especially with his feet.
Right.
That last 3rd and 6 that they ended up picking up was huge, but that was with his feet. And he, ran and got that. I think he had a couple others where he ran in the touchdown too. So he, definitely, hasn't been doing it with his arm, but with his feet has been able to make the plays that they need to at least get them a chance to win, and now they're playing for a Super Bowl. So
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so then I guess before we move on, just early, I think we'll probably go a little bit deeper next week, but early Super Bowl thoughts. Anything?
I want to say Seahawks just because like we talked about, the most complete team this season, I think. And especially, like I said, I think the Rams Seahawks is probably the two best teams that we've seen all season.
Yeah.
The Seahawks come out on top of that one. I would expect them to do the same, but
Never
something
know.
about the Patriots.
Right,
that,
yeah,
you
yeah.
never want to count those guys out. Just when you think they're down and out, they flip this team around, and here they are back again on the Super Bowl. So don't want to count them out, but I do think if you had asked me today, I'd say the Seahawks would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. And they opened as favorites -4.5. I think they are right now.
Okay.
And again, Drake May has been super impressive, and I think part of that's because of the defenses he's played. He's played the Chargers, Texans, and Broncos, who are three of the best defenses in the league that we've seen this year. But Seahawks are up there as well. So
yeah.
another tough defense. So yeah, I guess we'll just kind of see what happens.
Yeah. The other thing you talk about, the line on the game, I did see this too. If you would have placed a $10 bet, the Seahawks Patriots after week 2 this season, how much do you think that would pay out right now?
$10.
$10 is it.
Probably pays out, I don't know, like $800.
$18,360.
That wasn't even close.
$10 bet. And I think that's, you think about the Patriots, first game of the season, they lose to the Raiders, which, again, we just talked about the Raiders being the worst team
I guess
in
I
the league.
forgot about that.
They lost to the Raiders, that first week. And then the Seahawks, I think, had a loss second week. So they each started kind of slow. But, yeah, if you would have put a $10 bet in.
That's insane.
It's crazy to think about where we are now with those two teams that didn't really start very hot, but they got hot when they needed to, for sure.
I agree.
$10 isn't going to get you that now.
Not anymore.
Had to have a little more foresight. So.
Yep. All right. Yeah, but I think I agree as far as the Seahawks go. Like I said, Drake May, we'll see going up against a tougher defense. He's, again, as far as numbers go, passing yards haven't been up there. Completion percentage still pretty high, but a little down. 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 6 fumbles too. So hasn't been taking care of the ball. So I guess, anything can happen though. Like you said, you never know.
Yeah, it should be fun.
It'll be fun. Fun game for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar teams but new faces.
Yep.
All right, on to our moving the chains. So our kind of debate, our conversation here today is going to be best player right now versus all time in each of the 4 sports that we talk about. So we'll just go, kind of in our usual order. So football first. So you want to start with your best football player right now?
Currently today. This was tough. I'm not going to lie to you, because when you think about today, we're just talking about these championship games. And I got to be honest with you, between these teams that are getting to the Super Bowl, I don't see like standout players. I see more standout teams.
Teams,
Coaching, yeah. And so trying to think about players, you're not going to like this. I don't know if people listening to this will like this, but I got to be honest, to me, it's like Patrick Mahomes still for me. And I know this season is like down for them. They're not, they didn't even make the playoffs. It could be like, how are you picking Patrick Mahomes if they didn't make the playoffs? But I guess I'm thinking more collectively, like a player right now that stands out. And with what he's done so far, he's still young. I mean, he's still got plenty of his career left. I think he's maybe not the most liked, or the Chiefs aren't as as liked now because of all this success they've had. It's like the Patriots, right? When they start winning all this, people are, hey, we're out on them. But that's a franchise that hadn't won, and then it gets back and wins. And I think initially, early on, people were excited for that, and I think Mahomes was the big factor for that. So you just look at his 2-time league MVP, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. He's kind of changed the way the quarterback play is happening now in the NFL. Much more mobile, and I guess look at Caleb Williams this year. I mean, all the things that he does kind of off script. That's a lot of what Mahomes was doing, and maybe even Brett Favre right before him. He kind of took a few things for Favre, but yeah, it's tough for me to say what one player because there's so many good players. But I feel like team wise, maybe it's the teams right now that I see through the playoffs. So I'm going to say Mahomes just based on, again, kind of where he is today and the championships that he's won over the last few years.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. And I think maybe I just kind of took a little bit different angle. I wrote Josh Allen here on my document, but I'm going to go with Myles Garrett. I just think he's somebody who's playing right now who we're going to remember for a very long time. And he broke the sack record this year, and you can, throw out the extra game, which he does have. But to me, I mean, he was on track to destroy it halfway through the season, and then teams started kind of holding them and focusing in on him, which, yeah, whatever. I just think it was a bit of a different situation where, again, he was on track to destroy it. He was going to have it, and he did end up getting there. And so for someone who holds an all-time record like that, I think it just makes sense for me to put him as the best player that's in the league right now, just because, yeah, kind of an all-time guy. I think another guy I would think about here, maybe like a couple years ago, would be Derrick Henry, who just seems ageless. Just watching him run, just an amazing player all around, who, again, I think we're going to be remembering for a long time.
Yeah, I thought of that about like Saquon Barkley too. Like,
Yeah.
gosh, he had a down season this
Yeah, he
year
did.
also, and so it was like, I don't know. This one was tough for me, honestly. Like currently
It's
today,
hard, yeah.
how do you decide between offense and defense? And like I said,
well, and I want to be a little different too, I guess.
yeah, the defense makes sense. I mean, Myles Garrett, you're right. He's completely dominant. I
Yeah.
mean, like there's nobody like him in the league. He pretty much just carried the Browns. I mean, yeah, they had some wins they probably shouldn't have had, and their defense really carried them through those wins. So, yeah, he's a good choice for sure. Great player.
Yeah. Okay, and then all time, who you got?
I'm going to go different here as well because I think a lot of people will think quarterback, all time. But I'm going to say Jerry Rice from just a football
Okay.
player, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the 49ers. And then I think you talk about like ageless, playing for a long time. When he played through the age of 40, he caught his 8th touchdown in the Super Bowl at the age of 40 with the Raiders. So he played forever. And his conditioning was such that he could. Look back at old film, like people would they idolized him for all the work he put in the offseason to make himself better day in, day out. He has 22,895 receiving yards, which is more than 5,000 yards more than the second place person, which is Larry Fitzgerald on the all-time list. So again, he plays a long time, so he racks up all those yards. But season after season, I mean, he was putting in the work and just, obviously tearing it up to be that far ahead, in yardage to the second person. The other thing, now it wasn't just yardage, right? He caught touchdown passes. 1987, he had 22 touchdowns. That stood for 20 years for the most touchdowns in the season, and he only played 12 games that year.
That's crazy.
22 touchdowns in 12 games.
It's like 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah. So, again, just a dominant player of his time. Again, they didn't have the same rules today with the people sling the ball all over the place. We
Right,
talked
yeah,
about
it was
this last
different
time. Different game. But and I know the West Coast offense kind of opened up that for him. But he, incredible player. And again, just the longevity and everything. I think when you think of football and being on the field, the toughness and everything else that he put in, he's kind of my all time.
Yeah. I'll go Brady, which I know is kind of the classic answer. And I think as I go through my all time, you'll see I went a little bit more for the greatness as opposed to some of the numbers. So I think Tom Brady 7 Super Bowls right now, more than any franchise. The Patriots, I guess, have a chance to tie that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then he was also an ageless guy, played till 44, 45. And as a result, was able to keep breaking some of those passing records, passing touchdowns, where him and Breeze were going back and forth for a while, and then Breeze retired. Brady still had more left. So
yeah,
we went and took some more of those back. So I don't know. I don't think it needs that much explaining because I think it's kind of a classic answer. But yeah, I'll go Tom Brady.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, definitely. He's the GOAT. Yeah, talk about quarterbacks.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go down to baseball. Who's your best player right now?
For baseball,
Yeah.
it's Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
I
yeah.
mean,
So we're the same, which I think will be the same on both these ones.
yeah, that one is like, I mean, Shohei,
Who else are you gonna say?
yeah, dominating the sport with, batting and pitching. I mean, a guy that pinch hits the way he does. 54 home runs this past year, 59 stolen bases. I
Yeah.
mean, and then a 2.87 ERA pitching. He's like incredible, generational. I mean, I don't know what more to say about Shohei.
Yeah. No. I mean, you mentioned the stolen bases too. Like that's just another part where
yeah,
he's a great batter. He can steal bases. He can pitch. You're like getting 2 all-star level players in one.
it's
So,
incredible what he's
yeah.
doing, to the game. And I wonder, with him being a two-way player, like, are you going to see more of that coming out? Are there going to be players that are going to want to try to
Try to
be
do
like
it, yeah.
Ohtani? Yeah, and try and do it, which is not. I mean, that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
You don't see
well,
this.
you can play 2 ways, but not necessarily at the level he's doing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I mean, he is dominant in all facets, and
I mean, what was the game where he had 7 shutout innings, 3 home runs, whatever the heck it was in the
Yeah.
World Series this year? I mean, ridiculous.
yeah, it is ridiculous what he's doing. So, I mean, there's tough to argue against Shohei right
Yeah.
now as a dominant player in the MLB.
All right, and then all time, I've got Babe Ruth.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same, similar kind of thing.
reason. Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned on our first episode that baseball, I think of the 4 sports, has changed the least.
Mhm.
You could argue hockey too, I think, but baseball, like, yes, Babe Ruth was like almost 100 years ago, or around 100 years ago, but
Mm.
it's just such a timeless kind of a game where I don't think it matters. He basically did the same stuff Ohtani was doing.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, pitching,
So,
batting,
yeah.
and I mean, 700. What was it? 720.
Yeah, I had
runs?
it pulled up. What was it you were looking for?
His number of home runs, 714. Yeah,
Yeah.
total home runs, right?
714 home runs.
Yeah.
And then 2.28 career ERA.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he pretty much dominated for every year that he was in the league. He led the league in home runs 12 times and out-homered several teams. So, like, there were teams that were not hitting as many home runs collectively as Babe Ruth was hitting. So he was way ahead of his time, and that's, we were just talking about Ohtani. It's kind of the similar type of thing where it's just a once in a lifetime kind of player that you just don't see come around. And it was 100 years ago, and here we are with
Still
another one
talking
on
about
Ohtani.
him.
Yeah, we're still talking about him, and you got Ohtani, finally somebody else that is similar caliber, doing similar types of things, but it's 100 years later. I mean, that's crazy to think about. 100
Yeah,
years
it
ago,
is.
this guy doing that. So,
All right, next up then, we'll go to basketball. Who's your best player right now in basketball?
I like the Joker.
Okay,
Nikola Jokic. This is a tough one too. There's a lot of really good young players right now, but I like Joker. A 3-time MVP, 8-time All-Star, 5-time NBA first team. Obviously, won the championship and MVP, NBA Finals MVP when he played. And I think even this year, he's averaging almost 30 points a game. So he's averaging a triple-double. So 30 points, 29.6, 12.2 rebounds, and 11 assists a game. The guy is it's just incredible. Like, watching him play, and it's like effortless.
Mhm.
I think that's probably the thing too I like most about Jokic, and maybe that's why I wanted to choose him here. Is just he wins the championship, and he's like, I just want to go watch. Where are my horses? I want to go get the
Yeah.
horses. And he's like, hey, when's the parade? Well, when can I go back to my horses? Like, he just seems like he's not even like that interested, but he
Mhm.
is so good and so much better than everybody when he gets on the court. So I love watching him play, and I think
love him.
he's dominant. So I like Joker.
Yeah, and he was one I considered. I ended up going with Wemby just because he's, I think, he is completely different from anything we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He's, what, 7'4", 7'3"?
Yeah, he's tough.
But he shoots threes. I mean, I showed you the play where he was out on the perimeter just threw up a ridiculous looking shot
Yeah.
from 3 that went in. Like he can play everywhere. And I think if I'm gonna pick a guy to build a team around, like he doesn't even seem like he should be real.
Yeah.
Like he seems like you go into 2K and you create a player, and like I don't even know if you can make one that good. It's ridiculous.
He is. His little length of his legs and arms. Like I just saw a picture actually that somebody sent me. They were sitting courtside, and he was like bent over, and the guy guarding him had like his hand up on him or his elbow up on him, and he was like Wemby was bent over and almost like went up to the guy's like chest. This is a guy guarding him in the NBA, so the guy must have been like 6'9", whatever.
Right. Yeah.
His legs are like up at his chest. It's crazy. Like he is like not real. I don't know.
No, yeah, not at all. And I think the only argument there, like he obviously got his season cut short last year because of injury, so he doesn't have quite all the career stats you might want to see so far. He hasn't played for very long, and it could be a concern with just such a kind of different body. How long does he last? What are the injuries like? But I think as a whole, it's just
yeah,
it's unreal.
I do think like we may look back and say he is. I was thinking more kind of like right now, today, who's got the championship, who's like still dominant right now. That's why I go with a guy like Joker, where Wemby might be a few years down. He'll have a championship or whatever, and that to me kind of sets the bar for him.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I said, I was close on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then all-time basketball, Michael Jordan.
There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, no, there's not.
There's no debate.
Again, I mean, we talk about it a little bit, but the 6 championships, just the complete dominance while he played. And you can say whatever you want about him not having as many points as somebody else that's playing right now, but I think if he would have played as long as him, there's a good chance he has way more than that.
Yeah, and I think it's so offensively, obviously dominant, 30.1 points a game, 33.4 in the playoffs, and that's where he always stepped it up in the playoffs and never had a game 7, right? They always finished in 6 in the finals, 10 scoring titles. But I don't, it wasn't just offensively, but defensively, he was dominant as well. He was all defensive first team 9 times. Most for a guard in history, and
defensive player of the year once.
Yeah, I mean he just dominated on the defensive end too. So you talk about complete basketball player, the scoring, the defense, elevating his team, and getting the other team members. Obviously, that you wouldn't know about Steve Kerr and John Paxson and all these other guys, Horace Grant. I mean, like. Jordan pretty much made those guys to what they are, and Steve Kerr's still, enjoying success as a coach and everything. But yeah, Jordan really helped elevate their game and held them to a standard to get better and better and really kind of push them. So no debate there.
Nope, I don't think so. And then hockey, my best right now is Connor McDavid.
I'm gonna go a little different. So I don't disagree.
No,
so Connor McDavid. I don't think people can disagree that he's the best player. Again, I also look at championships though. So So he's one where kind of back to the Wemby thing, where like we're gonna look back and you say Connor McDavid, obviously for the time he's the best player. But I went with Nathan McKinnon for the fact that he has the championship, won the Hart Trophy a couple years ago, and even this season, right now. He's second right now in points, actually, to Connor McDavid, who has 90, but McKinnon has 88 points. But he leads the league with 38 goals through 47 games and also leads in plus minus, and he's way ahead in plus minus. I don't think McDavid's even in the top 50 in plus minus right now. So McKinnon is a great player. Again, McDavid's obviously like a generational talent, and he's going to be considered one of the best. But when I think about like what has somebody done so far, he hasn't won the Stanley Cup yet, and that's a huge deal.
Yeah,
for
it's a huge knock on him for sure. He's 29 and he hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, so he's got to get one. I mean, to be considered in that upper echelon, I feel like he's got to have that cup.
I agree. Yeah,
it was the same thing with Ovi for a long time, where Ovi, didn't win. Sidney Crosby was kind of, winning cups, and it was like, Sid the Kid, and you got Ovi there finally Ovi wins his cup, and then everybody gives him, the praise that he deserves. Very well
Yeah.
deserved, right? Ovi's a heck of a generational talent, but I think it's the same for McDavid. Like he's just got to win a cup, and then obviously that's going to cement him in history.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's good arguments to be had either way. And McKinnon was a guy that obviously, like I saw him kind of right around Connor McDavid on all these scoring lists, scoring titles the last few years. But yeah, and again, kind of a classic answer, I think, Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Give a little shout out to McKinnon, though.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah.
And then all time, I've got Wayne Gretzky.
Yep.
I think that's, again,
That's
there's really not
one.
much of an argument to have there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some others, the Gordie Howes and Bobby Holes and things, but yeah, the one thing, obviously, you can go to the stats for Gretzky, but I do think like the culture of hockey and like bringing it to the States and going to the Kings, and like he really changed American hockey. Honestly, I mean, like it's a Canadian sport. Canadians do it over and over and over, whatever. But like, when they're like 2 years old, I think they put skates on them. I think they learn to skate before they walk. It's crazy, but like Gretzky really changed American hockey and brought it to LA and whatever from there. So I think not only the stats, obviously he's got all those, he's got the cups, he's got whatever, but just what he did for the game to bring it to the States and to make it as mainstream now and as popular in the US as it is. I think Wayne Gretzky had a huge part in that. So
yeah. All right. But yeah, I don't think I have much else to add there.
No.
All right, then we will go down to our 2 minutes in the box. I've been ready for this since this morning, actually. So
you hop on in. Yeah, you go ahead and do yours.
Yeah. I'll lead us off. All right, I've got a blind resume for you. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, quarterback one has this 2025 season stats, okay?
Okay.
4,007 yards, 6th in the league. 29 touchdowns, 5th in the league. 12 interceptions, tied for 31st. QB2, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions in 2025.
Okay.
Okay, which one would you rather have?
Well, QB1, obviously, right?
Do you want to know which one made the Pro Bowl after Drake May went to the Super Bowl? QB2, Shedeur Sanders. QB1 was Trevor Lawrence, who's an MVP finalist. Probably third in voting. Again, we don't know for sure yet, but it's probably Matthew Stafford and Drake May 1, 2, and then Trevor Lawrence 3. And he's still not in the Pro Bowl.
That's insane.
That's my 2 minutes in the box.
That's, I guess, Dion and Shedeur, they're getting more hype now and getting, I don't know how
and I get that.
I don't know who votes.
So a third of Pro Bowl voting is fans.
Okay.
So you got fans that are voting for Shedeur. Now you would think that there are some for Trevor Lawrence as well. But that's only a third. So
that's wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
He probably played a third of the game. Like, how many games did he actually start?
He started 7 games. Appeared in 8.
So not even half?
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Now there were others. Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix are both hurt, so they couldn't fill in. I don't know where exactly on the list they were, but
yeah, but Trevor Lawrence.
Right. Insane.
That's crazy. Well, that's a good 2 minute. Yeah. Put him in the box for sure.
All right, what do you got?
So the one I've got is Olympic planning committees, and specifically, I don't know if you've seen any of this with the ice hockey arena.
I have.
So the ice hockey arena, they're still finalizing construction now. I think it's finally, the ice is down. They've got walls up and everything, but they still have like some of the locker room stuff and some other things kind of around the stadium that they have to finalize. But like, I don't understand. You've known for 7 years that you're going to have the Winter Olympics coming to your country. You don't have a arena built yet, and you're down to like the last month and like finalizing things. Like the previous Olympics, I think they had exhibitions on the ice like a year prior to just kind of testing that, make sure everything was working right. Like they're going to be like up to the minute day, like, hey, we're ready to bring people in and play these games. And like, have they proved anything out? I don't know what this is going to look like. I saw pictures a few weeks ago and it was looking like, is this even a full-size rink or what is going on? Now, like I said, I think the rink and everything is fine now. They've got it all figured out. But, like, I don't understand how you're going to have the Olympics 7 years ago in your country and you don't have this done within a month of when it's going to happen. But
Yeah, that's insane.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, like you said, you've known you're going to have it. I don't know what you're waiting on.
I don't know. But holy smokes, figure it out, Olympics.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
In the box.
Yeah.
All right, on to our 2-minute drill. So again, start with football. Start off right there. Would you rather have an elite defense or an elite offense?
Elite defense. We talked about it just earlier with the,
Mhm.
especially when you look at the Super Bowl this year, the two teams that are in it, defensive minded. That's really kind of what got them there. And even through the playoffs, the AFC, you mentioned the teams that the Patriots have had to go through with their defenses. That's really what's kind of carrying these teams in is elite defenses. And I think about the Bengals, the Lions, these teams with like
Mhm.
elite offenses. They're really not pulling through. So for me, it's the defense.
Yeah, the Bengals were what convinced me. Because I'd been thinking offense. I think it's just kind of the way teams are going in the NFL right now. A lot of the head coaches we're seeing are offensive-minded guys. But yeah, the Bengals convinced me where it's like they've got one of the best, if not the best, offenses in the NFL,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter because they can't win games.
Yep. Agreed.
So yeah, I think defense. All right, basketball. Is defense still championship level important? So thinking about, I think more the NBA, is defense still championship level important?
I say no. I think it
I agree.
was, yeah, at some point, but I think right now scoring is such a high priority, the 3-point shot, and I think that's really what's kind of carrying a lot of these teams championship level is scoring, not necessarily defense.
We mentioned Jordan. He was a great player and he played defense. And
Yeah.
that doesn't happen quite as much anymore.
Mhm.
Average scores are way up from what they used to be, even after the 3-point line was introduced. I think college basketball defense matters a little bit more, but
Mhm.
as far as the NBA, it just doesn't seem to matter. I think the Thunder were one of the rare teams where there was some more defense. Alex Caruso was a good piece they brought in, who was an awesome defender. He's got some first all defensive
Yeah.
under his belt, and that was good to have. And I think that really got them over the top of other teams. But as a whole, I think it's scoring as opposed to defense as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, baseball, ace, pitcher, or deep rotation?
Deep rotation. Talked
I
about
agree.
the relievers in my
Yep.
dad joke right at the beginning. But yeah, I think you got to be able to make a run in the playoffs. You got to have a deep rotation. You got to be able to go multiple game series. Yeah, it's going to help
Yeah.
you all the way through. So a deep rotation. For
I
me.
used the Paul Skeens example last week, I think, for something. Same thing. You got Paul Skeens, but what does it matter if you don't have anything else?
Yeah, agreed.
All right, hockey. Are shootouts good for the game?
Yeah, I think old school wise, they'd say no. It's kind of a gimmick and it's not really part of the game. But I like it honestly.
I
I
do
don't
too.
like things ending in a tie. I think it's like people say it's like kissing your sister. You end in a tie, and it's kind of a weird analogy, but like I hate it when things end in a tie. Like let's get the final result. And so I like the shootout. I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting for the fans, and I want to see somebody win at the end of it. So I think it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, again, it's actually almost exactly what I wrote. As opposed to ties, yeah, shootouts are great. It's exciting to watch. And I think that that's even more exciting than going to overtime and playing more, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, it's just cool to see your star players go up against that goalie. Again, who we've talked about, the goalie, who's so important.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy you need to have to win that shootout.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, I think the shootouts are great.
agreed.
And then our wild card question that we threw in here again: who faces more pressure, quarterback, NBA superstar, ace pitcher, or goalie?
I said quarterback. I think short leash on those guys, especially now. You got to perform. You get thrown to the curb. I think about Sam Darnold, right? Like there's a lot of pressure on him from all these teams he's been on: the Jets, the Panthers, the Vikings, now to the Seahawks. And like if he didn't perform for the Seahawks this year, they're thrown to the
Moving on,
curb, right? There's
yeah.
a lot of pressure on that guy to perform. So I'm gonna say quarterback.
I have the same thing. We're going pretty well with
Yeah.
having the same stuff written down.
A lot of agreeing here.
I think, and I thought a lot about this because I think like an ace pitcher in a single moment has more pressure than a quarterback. Like on the mounds, bottom of the ninth, game 7, 2 strikes, the classic example people talk about. Like that's a lot of more pressure in one moment, I think, than a quarterback has. But I think over a career, it is that quarterback, right? I think there's just a lot more media surrounding the NFL as well. Like just the pressure of people constantly having an opinion on you, and you have to be good or bad, or the team's success is like defined just by what you're doing. And like you said, teams are very quick to move on if it's not working.
Yep. Agreed.
All right, into our extra innings. Anything that you want to bring up?
Yeah, just real quick. I talked a little bit about the coaching searches last week in the NFL, and so quick update on that with what's going on. The Giants obviously got Harbaugh. Steelers, and I don't think I mentioned this. I think we were joking off air, like about Mike McCarthy. I was like, what about Mike McCarthy going to the Steelers? What do you think about that? And with Rodgers, and I was joking, honestly. And then all of a sudden Saturday, I see Mike McCarthy is really going to the Steelers. Like, I don't know if that's a huge upgrade for them. It seems kind of like a similar feel for the Mike Tomlin, but I don't know.
Mhm.
That was kind of an interesting hire. I
Yeah,
think,
the
for them.
last Super Bowl Mike McCarthy played in
Was against the Steelers.
against the Steelers in 2011.
That's
And neither
hilarious.
team's been back since, or
Yeah.
neither coach, I guess.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting one. The Falcons has been filled. Obviously, we talked about that. Dolphins, Jeff Hafley got that one. So that's Green Bay's defensive coordinator. Salah goes to the Titans. Jesse Minter, then the Ravens picked up from the Chargers, right? And then so you've got still the Bills. I think big opening there. Be kind of interesting to see what they do. Phillip Rivers getting an interview this week. Kind of crazy that Phillip Rivers is getting a look at. I mean, yeah, obviously played this year for the Colts, and then now is he going to come coach in the NFL? Kind of crazy.
It's only happened once. Some guy in like 1950.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems wild. And then Cardinals, Raiders, and Browns. So a lot of question marks still. Got 4 teams, right? I think that are open. Is that right?
Yeah. I think somebody's waiting on Clint Kubiak.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. You would think maybe the Rams coordinators.
That's what I was
waiting
thinking.
on. So maybe we'll see something in the next couple days.
Yeah.
Who is that? Chris Shula
Shula
or
and
Michael
LaFleur.
LaFleur.
Yeah.
So
And I think they're getting interviews. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. But I think obviously the Bills probably the biggest question mark there. What do they do?
They seem to have a smaller pool, but a very different pool as well. Like Brian Daboll, I know they've looked at, which I think makes sense.
Yep.
I don't even know who else is in there. Phillip Rivers.
That'll be
I
interesting.
have no idea. Mike McDaniel is officially to the Chargers now. He dropped out of that.
That's right. Yeah. OC
That
over
was
there.
actually earlier today.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, and then my extra innings, I'll just go Saturday. There were, 3 40-point performances from freshmen in college basketball. So I just figured I'd call that up real quick. Keaton Wagler for Illinois, 46 to beat Purdue. Went 13 of 17 from the floor, 9 for 11 from 3.
He's hitting everything.
He was. Illinois record for points in the Big Ten game and most points ever by an opposing player in Mackey Arena. AJ DeBonsa with BYU, 43 to beat Utah, 91 to 78, 15 of 24, BYU freshman record. And then Kingston Flemings from Houston, who I think is flying a little bit more under the radar with these other two kind of bigger names, 42 and a 90 to 86 loss to Texas Tech, which the loss I think is part of it as well.
Yeah. They're still a top 10 team, Houston. I don't know what the rankings came out today, and I didn't look to see where they were ranked with that loss, but they're still a very solid team. And Kelvin Sampson always has his guys playing really good defense. I'm sure that they're going to be making some noise here the next month or so as we get into March. But
15, 5, 5 and 2. Where are they? They dropped.
Okay.
They are 20.
Oh, so they did drop quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, college basketball, we'll see here the next month or so. Obviously, I got a few more weeks of football, but then I'll be turning a lot of my attention here to the college basketball season and getting into March Madness and things. Got big stretch coming down here with the conference games, conference championships, and then NCAA. So, yeah, these freshmen, though,
That's crazy.
looking good.
Yeah, and then a couple other freshmen, I guess, of note on that same day. Cameron Boozer for Duke at 32. Darius, I don't know how to say this, a cuff for Arkansas had 31.
Nice.
Wait, I looked at the wrong team. I looked up Arkansas. That's why I was confused. Arkansas is 12. I would look down on my list.
Oh, yeah.
Houston.
Yeah, I thought Houston was.
I was
Fourth. I don't
like,
even
that
think they
doesn't
dropped that
sound
far.
right. Let's see. Houston is 6. There
Okay,
we go.
yeah,
That
they
makes
didn't
more
drop that
sense. I
far.
was confused too. I was like, that doesn't. Okay.
All
All right. Much better. Fix it up.
That's good. There
All
you
right.
go.
Down to our scoreboard. We agreed on everything today. Pretty crazy.
That was
but
quite a bit of agreement.
It
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
I guess in our little right now versus all time, there's a little bit more. I think I kind of went more classic, except for my football one. But baseball and hockey, we were mostly
Yeah.
But then basketball,
Wow,
football was a little
A
different.
little
which is
different
fun.
there. That is, yeah.
All right. I think that's going to do it for today, guys. So if you like today's conversation, make sure to follow, rate, and share the show. We'll be back next time breaking down the biggest stories and our generational opinions from the 4 major sports. Until then, we will see you for the next play.
Peace out, guys.